How you feel?
I feel amazing.
Awesome. All right. Real quick.
So is the audio? Do you check the audio, or you just know it's recording? And you
So I can see the board, like, as I talk, as you talk, like, both meters are going up. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I don't know. It's very trustworthy.
I know. I need my headphones for the sound. Like, I can hear my sound. Like, yeah.
So, and there are some people that produce podcasts where they want to hear, like, every single thing, which is probably smart. I've been getting away with not having to. So
no, it's good that I can hear it, for that other part, too.
I mean, because there's some people that while they record, they like having them on. Right. Like, and I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm like flying a plane. Like I'm cool without having it. So, hey, what's going on?
What's up?
What's happening? We live from Harper Haven Studio, man. It's your boy Kevin Ewing Jr., the homie with the Sony. You might know me as Full Time Kev, Kevin Ewing Photo. I'm here with my dog. Came up to visit me from Virginia. Dwayne Morris, how you feeling?
I feel amazing. I'm glad to be here in Hartford Haven.
Yeah. So we came to check the studio out, give me some pointers. I seen some stuff on his Instagram, on the website. Like, everything about you is like real fly. Like, that's the one thing that I every time I'm around you, I'm like, it's like my twin cousin, just that looks better. I'll be,
don't do it.
Yeah, I'll be mad. I'll be like, oh, he got some stuff that I don't have yet. So yeah, every time I see you, like, even when you walked in, the hoodie is fire. Like, I like the design where the pockets are. It's clean. It's real neat. You can't even see the shoes.
We're not doing it.
But yeah, like, that's the one thing that I'm like, all right, if I can perfect not even just a look for myself, but like a look that I'm giving to customers, to clients, I feel like I can up my game a little bit. So can you give me like some backstory on just the style, the flavor you bring? Like, there's something that comes with you when you step into the room.
Oh man, I don't think it's a backstory. Well, I guess it is a backstory.
It's gotta be. It gotta come from somewhere. Yeah.
Transparently, growing up, I felt like I didn't have all the things I wanted.
Okay, and I can relate.
And I just, had some, things that I had to overcome. Okay. I guess with my look, I didn't. I saw things. I saw role models and mentors and people that I felt like they had the look. So. As I got older and I was able to invest in myself, I bought things that made me feel good, so that nobody would have anything to talk about, I guess, negatively.
Okay.
Or that that I just didn't have. I that's complicated. I mean, but I'm ready. I'm gonna let it go. I guess. So I feel like I was picked on because I had second, hand-me-down clothes. Yeah. Like, I was the oldest.
So you almost look at it like it's a defense mechanism.
It was a defense mechanism. So like, you don't have to talk about. Yeah. And so, I feel like if I always show up as my best, right, I feel my best. Okay. And people say, well, you always buy, you always get a name brand or this, the name of that. You don't need that. I'm like, it's for me. I buy what I like. Right. If you don't like it, it's okay for you not to like it. Okay. As long as I like it, I'm good.
And I wasn't even I think a lot of people get caught up in like brands and stuff like that, whether they're seeing certain patterns or they seeing like a label or something like that. Like, I never even really look at that. I just be like,
I like
it looks good. Like, it's clean. Like, I never really buy something because like everybody is on it. Like, it's normally like, man, this fits.
It fits
me.
Let me say, like, this sweatshirt right here. So I bought one, and it's a brand. It's a brand that's like doing fitness clothes. Yeah. And I'm into fitness, whatever. Right. But when I went and put it on,
it looks comfortable.
I mean, the inside is like my pants, and it's cold outside right now. So I literally went back and bought 3 more in 3 different colors. So I have red, gray, like a maroon color. They eventually came with that, and a black. Nah. And if they had more colors, I would do it.
Because I was gonna ask, like, off cam, like, I need to put my brand on some stuff.
And then, so it wasn't originally like my name wasn't on them, of course, at first. Mm-hmm. when I put it on the first one for my photo shoot I was doing for myself for Christmas, it was this one.
Okay.
I was like, I need to do something for Christmas. Put myself out there. I'm like, I like the sweatsuit. I went to the design place that's right near my studio, supporting another business. He threw it on there the same day. I went and took the picture. And after that, I was like, I'm adding.
Yeah. No, and that's what I would tell. Like, if you want me to wear something of yours, it's gotta be comfortable. It has to feel comfortable. Like, there's some hoodies. The inside, it's man, like, there's hoodies that I'll wear in the whole. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like.
Yeah, there's stuff that I'll wear and the whole like the text will be wearing off, rubbing off, and I'll still wear it because
it feels good.
Of how it feels. So yes, I'm definitely I'm tapping into. All right, so that I wasn't even gonna kick it off like that, but that was the thing that stood out, like just the fashion sense, the look, like every time I see you, I'm like, yo, the style don't miss. Like whether it's like I seen photos of you like dressed up. And then even just being a person, you dress down, it's like, all right, cool. All right, so is this this photography thing that you're doing, this is something you always wanted to do?
I did not know I wanted to be a photographer.
Okay.
I was a teacher. Actually, I went to school for technology. I went to computers and stuff first. But teaching was like my family thing. Like my parents were teachers. People at my church were teachers.
Okay.
Like education was a thing that my pastor pushed in my community because it was like I won't say it's a low income area, but Southern Virginia is like woods. We had the prison system, you had the school system, or it was just like other minimum wage jobs. And I was like, I want to make money, but I also want to make an impact. Okay. So as I was in school, the advisors there was like, you should really, consider education because, that was my parents. I know your people. You are, I'm like, I do work good with kids, but I just don't want to be known for that. Okay. But as I matured and got older, I was like, I really do want to make the impact.
Okay. Yeah, because my question was basically, what made you feel like you needed to pursue photography and not just wanted to?
So, as I, grew and did that, what everybody wanted me to do, what I thought that was my passion, I was getting my master's and other things, but my son was born and I was using my iPad to take pictures of him. And then I was like, this is nice. And I printed out. And then I had another friend who had a camera who was just shooting at other events. I ended up borrowing his camera to do something for somebody else. And I made $100.
That's that bug.
So it's the money.
Yeah.
It's the money. But seeing people's faces and their expressions and how they responded to getting the product that I gave made me feel really good on the inside. So it's like, I can make money on this. I can actually help somebody. And my impact, as I begin to do it more, is reaching a larger crowd. Right. Like, it's not just the kids in the classroom. I'm actually showing kids now, you can do whatever it is that you're passionate about and make your living.
Right. Okay. So I was going to say, because, like, my kids, they've been, the early stage models. Like, hey, look, sit still real quick. I get a good picture of you, somebody else is going to book. So, no, I definitely, I can relate
even
to
those snow pictures, look, I like, Zion, let's go outside. My daughter, she's my first model. I'm like, let's go. And she's, she's grown up doing it, and now she has her own camera. She wants to do things, and she works on the media with me on other projects.
Nice. That's, so my daughter, she's a creative, and it's, like, lovely. Like, because I could never draw, I could never paint or anything, and she'll have something on YouTube, and it will be, like, completely unrelated, but she'll like, draw, now she's, like, heavy into geography, so she's just in 3rd grade, around when I was growing up, in 5th grade, you had to know the states, the capitals, stuff like that. She got this geography book, and she's like, all right, quiz me. Oh, wow. What's the capital of Massachusetts? What's the capital of New Hampshire? Like, I'm like, yo, you're, like, brilliant. But she likes to draw the stuff out. And so, where she'll see us using Canva, using InShot, using, like, all these different, like, apps to, like, get to the goal, she's like, okay, so I like reading. I can make a bookmark on there. So, she ended up making a bookmark for every kid, like, in her class.
Oh, wow.
Because she's like, if I'm interested in it, like, I can, like, share that love. So it's cool when you get good at something and can, like, and share it with everybody. You
know what's crazy? My daughter was mad yesterday. CapCut, cut out right now. So she's been using that to create her little edit. I can't make my edit. Mother's Day coming up, and I want to make my video. I'm like, she was really hot.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think, because I don't use TikTok like that. And not to say that I didn't see the productivity aspect, but I just think it's so many people using it just for the entertainment. So I'm like, man, you could probably use a break. Right. But when I started seeing, my business owner friends, they're like, yo,
what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, like I've got so used to like using the templates and stuff that came from TikTok. I mean, from CapCut. I'm sorry. Like, it's like, okay, my bad. Like, I should have had a little more sympathy for you. I see what's going into that. So, what experience in your life, good or bad, has most influenced your style and approach to photography?
What experience, good or bad, has
And I feel like you touched on it a little bit. Like, you're just saying you get, like, that feel from seeing people's reaction to the photos.
Yeah, I guess that influences because, like, even with events I go to or no matter where I am, like, the client's reaction inspires me to keep going. Like, even when I don't feel like it's the best or I feel like I'm not doing, like, oh, it's just the same old, but they're like, oh my God, this is everything. Yeah. They walk into my studio and they're like, oh, this is amazing. I'm like, I'm still trying to clean up. I'm still trying to do this. They say, oh no, this is this. I'm like,
all right.
So the impact.
Do you feel like you have a certain style of photography or like something that a customer can come to expect? Like,
they do. Some of them, they talk about the eyes. Like, they look in the eyes of my clients. Like those, my African trips. Yeah. Like the pictures I have on the wall. They're like, oh, you just capture it every time. I set up at a vendor fair for entrepreneurs. And I had like different pictures up, and the lady was like, "Oh my God, I just see this. I have to have a shoot." I'm like, "Really? You see that?" Like, I didn't know, but it's lifelike. Like, I try to shoot lifelike pictures. Okay. Like when you see the colors, the edits. Like, I want it to be as real as possible.
Okay. Because I didn't know if it was like, all right, I had a favorite photographer, or I used to look in magazines, or anything like that. Like, okay, because I know I would always be like chasing a look, right? Like, and like once I achieved the look, I kind of got bored,
right?
So it was like, all right, my passion wasn't necessarily the art of photography. It was like trying to get bills paid. And it was seeing the reaction to, like, somebody has never looked as good as they've looked before they took this picture. Like, I did headshots for this company. It was probably like 25 people. And I had a lady that worked with me like throughout the day. She wasn't assigned to work with me or anything. It was just, I don't know, she caught the vibe. It was good energy or whatever. And every employee of this company that would come up for this headshot, she would introduce me and she would be like, "Hey, this is Kevin. He's about to take the best picture you've ever had." And I was like, oh snap! Like, I can use that.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I was like, I can use that. She was like, well, aren't you about to take the best picture they ever had? I'm like, I am. I am. I appreciate that. So yeah, like that's like my thing where I'm like, all right, you may have had pictures taken before, but I just want the best picture you've ever
had. I like that. I need to write that down.
Yeah, no, we both. I'm gonna use that. All right, so. What's the craziest or most unexpected realization you've had while capturing a photo or like working in photography in general? I know that's a hard hitting question.
The most unexpected realization.
Yeah. Like, and I honestly think on your way home you'll think of something else. You'll be like, I know that wasn't like, but like off the top of your head, if you could think like, man, I'm working in this photography field. This is, something that I never expected.
Well, I never expected to travel as much as I do.
That's fire.
Like, I really enjoy experiencing new places, seeing different cultures, even with, the African travels, go back to that again. Like, I never expected to do this. Okay. And now that I'm doing it, it's like, oh my God, I have to go back. Okay. Or I have to go to this place. Like, I never expected to shoot a wedding on a yacht that's overlooking the Statue of Liberty when they kissed at the end. I never expected to be in Miami on the beach shooting a wedding. Like, it's like, who knew?
No, that's great. Like, so I think one of my biggest realizations was like people, like just dealing with people.
Mm-hmm.
People need help. Like I feel like I'm a person that helps people through photography.
Right.
Like I see a lot of like confidence, like lack of confidence.
Right.
Like you see that camera come on.
I'm an image consultant.
Yeah. And I mean, I've even like in shooting weddings, I've had a couple or a woman like unload. Like there's like almost like an immediate trust.
Right.
That I got your back.
They do that.
And I'm like, I don't know you. Like we just met and we're sitting in a Panera and you're like telling me about like your students at school or you're telling me about a coworker and it's like, oh, some people just need like that conversation sometimes
to help them
where you have like a comfortable voice or a comfortable like personality. So no, like that's the one thing that was like big for me where it's like, oh, I can really I can give people something they didn't know they needed like through the photography. Now you brought up traveling, you brought up locations. I got a 2-part question based off that. What is your favorite domestic like US spot that you've been to through photography, and then where is your favorite outside of the country? Like, and it doesn't have to be like favorite photo, but like maybe just best experience.
That's tough. I'm like, my brain's like,
Now you've been to that many spots?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Okay.
So how about this? San Diego.
Okay.
Sunset Cliffs.
All right.
It was 2019. Something like that. I was out there for a week and I actually found a model off of social media to shoot. Because I was like, this place is too nice. I was there supposed to shoot another event. But while I was there, I needed to go and see the area.
Dang, so what you just like searched?
I searched models in the area, whatever, and booked her for free. She came out, killed it. We were out there on the cliffs, and I see the wind blowing on her outfit.
You're going to have to send me some of those. I don't know what they look. They still look good? They stand the test of time?
Let me tell you, they still look good. And she was like moving to the area, so she wasn't trying to fill out too. She's like
popping in.
Booked now. I'm like, I shot her before.
Yeah. Nah, that's what's up. That's fire. All right, so Sunset Cliffs. I'm gonna have to try to put that in the phone. All right, and then out of the country, what's been your best experience that photography?
Okay, so of course Africa has been it. Okay, and I've been a couple times, and each time I go, it's like, oh my God, that's my favorite place. But for real, Zanzibar, going out there because I love water, like beach, swimming, all that. Okay, that has been like the top spot so far.
All right, dope. You got some cool photos there, or that was just where the camera took you?
Cool photos. The camera took me, but we got some cool photos, like shooting different people out there. Okay. But yeah, but the best like experience shooting like locally, yeah.
All right. All right. Cool. If someone could only view one photo from your portfolio, which one would you want them to see and why?
Ooh, I'm going back to Africa. The picture that's hanging on the wall in my studio. Okay. Like it's the centerpiece. That's from Ethiopia. My first trip over. Very impactful. But we went to each village to see the cultures and things, and one kid that was standing there. I think it's like it's, I didn't do any editing, like skin. Well, it's like crust in his eye, and maybe I think one of the kids had like a fly on the side of their face. It was just like crazy. But like you see I don't want to say the hurt, because they're not hurting. I mean, we look at them, we see that their situation, we see they need so much, but they are living life. Like they've not been cultured, they've not been colonized, and they don't have like running water, things like that. But they are out there running and playing. The kids are just living. They want our clothes because they like, come on, they want things like that. But no, his face, like I can look at that picture every day.
All right, so you bringing that up, I wasn't. This is not in here. So you take pictures like that, and then you bring them back to the U.S. Is there some kind of feel of exploitation on that? Because I feel like it can be a sensitive subject,
right.
especially for people that's never been.
Right.
So it's a lot of people that's never been there doing talking, trying to represent the feel and the vibe of people. Like, and you actually experienced it, so I can't tell you like, yo, don't post that. You can't sell those pictures. Like, they didn't want that when you went over there. Like, you know them more than we would. Right. So, what's your feel on that?
So I feel like I haven't delved into that a lot, but I feel like the exploitation piece comes in when people go over there and they make people look a certain type of way so that they can make money off of it. Okay. We're going for learning and experience, and we actually give them money. We give them things. Okay. Yeah, we support the communities. Right. The organizer, he has the Hope Missions in Ghana, so like they built the school. Like we actually went and helped paint the school. Like we've done so many things to help support the community that
so it can be a trade-off.
It's a trade-off for one, but two, I don't bring these pictures back and be like, hey, look at these people, they're this and other. Or, hey, buy my picture because this, that, other. Okay. So I appreciate that because it was a hot topic a couple weeks. I saw recently.
And so it was like, I was like a fly on the wall. I'm like looking at the conversation and I'm like, the photographer may have gone over with, the innocence. Like, I mean, I'm just capturing... I'm a documentarian. Like, I want to show off what's going on in the world.
But tell the real story. Don't make up a story.
Exactly.
Making up stories is what is exploiting.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the thing I wanted to get clear on because I've never been. I wanted to go, and I know I'll get some dope photos, but I don't want to come back and feel like I'm insensitive to what's going on or whatever. And like I said, even... You're telling me like we're doing this stuff in the community. We're like, and they love the experience.
Right. They're like fighting to get in front of the camera. Like it's not like I'm like the last trip. Like we actually stayed in the village. Mm-hmm. This last trip, we were not prepared for it, but prepared for it. Like we knew something was gonna happen. Whatever. So we ended up spending the night. The next morning, like everybody was eating breakfast, and I was walking around, doing whatever. One of the guys like, hey, you want to see my, inside my house? They had their hut, tent, whatever it was. He took me in there, and I'm like ducking to get through the door, walking in, the dugout, go around the corner, like, there's a lady in there, the baby in the bed, like, sleeping. And he's like, yeah, take the picture. I'm like, oh, they're like, really? You can take the picture, it's okay. I'm like, for real? Like, she shines a light in there. Yeah. She's like looking
So it's almost like they want the story told.
They want the story told. And the kid sits on the side of the bed like this. I do have that picture. I haven't posted it yet. Yeah. I haven't shared it yet, but... Yeah, it's those moments that you don't get unless they invite you into it.
Now, going back to the original question of like what what would be that one photo, I think that's a great question because as you think of your favorite photos or what you want to be known for, it kind of has you shooting in a direction. Right. Like I've had these questions tailored for like other industries. I've never looked at them from a photographer standpoint. Right. So that's why I kind of bust out laughing when I was looking at them. I'm like, I don't know what I would say if I had to ask the question. So I don't have to answer.
You could.
One photo, I don't know if I really... I mean, it might be the one that I have out there. And it's a big... photo of my daughter. It's because she's like just very inspiring to me. I mean, I've shot in other countries, I've shot in other cities, I've done maternities and things like that. But I think when I walk in here, I see it. It's almost like a reminder of making good decisions. Right. Like what do you want to be proud of? What is your inspiration? What is your why? Stuff like that. So like, while it's not. It might not be the tearjerker. It might not be like, but people kind of know what I'm doing it for. Right. When they see that photo, and it's good quality still. Right. Like I produce a good kid. I produce a good photo. So, all right. Next, what's a vulnerable or uncomfortable moment you've experienced as a photographer that people wouldn't expect?
Vulnerable, uncomfortable. So I lost my grandparents. Okay. I have one living grandparent left. Okay. And I got real vulnerable and uncomfortable shooting older people and people with their
Because you can.
Because I'm like, man, I wasn't shooting that much when my grandparents were alive. Okay. And I have pictures like in my phone, and I have those type of pictures. But I'm like, God, I wish I could have gotten family pictures. Like, I wish I could have taken those pictures. I'm like, y'all need to do this. Like, I tell everybody.
Yeah.
Family memories are a thing.
Man, tell them. Tell them, because it's not even to sell.
It is not to sell.
Not even to sell.
When people bring them in.
Yes, we're photographers, but it's not even for that. Like, because when you brought it up, like, I have a aunt that passed that was not so old.
Right.
And I tried to gather my family up, and it was just like, the game's on, right. I'll be there, and it's like 7 siblings. It's 7 of them,
right? And
I might have had 4 of them total there at the same time, where one was there. It was like, oh, they running late, I'll leave. So, like, when you said it, it was like, oh, I can relate to that.
Right.
So, yeah, let them know.
Look, you need to get your family together. And actually, the client I just booked.
Okay.
That's a family. Like, the dad passed.
Dang, okay.
So he won't be there for their family pictures that they're about to have. Mm-hmm. They didn't have pictures. Yeah. And they see, even more importantly now, that we got to get these pictures done. Yeah. Like, get your family pictures done. Those memories you won't have forever. I mean, the memories you will have forever, but you won't have the family memory. Yeah. You won't have the people there forever. And you want something to look back at. Phones will crash. But if you print those pictures, you have them on the wall. You can look at them. You have them. That's another reminder. People get pictures and they hold them. They want them for social media. They want to post everything, you know. But if TikTok gets taken away and all your posting is gone, Instagram gets removed, you have it no more. Somebody hacks your Facebook. You don't have your Facebook anymore. Yeah, and all your memories are gone. Mm-hmm. Print them things.
So this is the last thing I'll add on that. Well, I think it's the last thing. The experience of taking photos with your family is a whole nother event.
It is.
It's a whole nother event. Y'all getting dressed together. Mm-hmm. Y'all riding together. Y'all might eat afterwards.
I'm about to say, go to eat afterwards.
Yeah. Like, there's so many different things. I mean, like, you can set it up even when it's a family gathering. Like, if it's, a birthday party, like, you don't always want the time that we link up to be a negative.
Funeral.
Yeah. Like, just coming to support somebody in a divorce or whatever the case.
Right.
Like, so, like you said, man, get your family photos done, because we not always going to be here, and it's just something that we can continue to pass on to, the
legacy.
Yeah. All right, so what would you say to the version of yourself before you started this journey in photography?
Ooh. I think I say this about everything in my life. Take your time and get the most out of it. Like, learn as much as you can. I always jump headfirst into everything I do. Like, I just we're going to do this. But I didn't start with a business plan. Okay. I didn't start with goals of what I wanted. I just jumped right into it. But now that I know, all the things I know, I'm like, take time and really learn about it and execute better. Because you could be so much further along, with that prior knowledge.
Okay. Yeah. I need to answer that?
Go ahead.
All right, so what I would say to the version of myself before I been 8, 9 years, 10 years in photography is, don't get comfortable. Like, there's seasons in this. Yeah. And just because you hot right now,
you can quickly go.
Yeah, you can that. You can sit and be like, oh, I'm good, and then you're not.
I'm never comfortable. Like, there's always room to grow. There's always
and
something
I feel like in my experience, like, I've done stuff to be comfortable, and I'm like, oh, it will bite you if you
yeah. Because somebody else is grinding harder. Somebody else is wanting to get where you are comfortable. Yeah. And then they're going to continue.
Yeah. So I can remember times when I had this hunger to improve the skill, a hunger to, pay some bills. And then once you do it, it's like, all right, well, what am I doing? Just where I was saying, I was trying to achieve a look. Once I got my skies blue, my grass green, the complexions and everything looked great, then it was just all right, there were certain photographers that I wanted one of my shots to look like. Mm-hmm. And then I could almost tell when they fell off. And it was like, wow, man, I caught him. I'm good now. But then it's like you might stop promoting, you might stop running your ads, you might stop dropping your blogs. So there's so many different things that go into it where it's like, man, this thing is a marathon.
Yeah.
Like it's cliche to kind of say it now, but it's like, no, like it has to last you until you actually have your game plan to pivot out.
Right.
And so, I would just say, the knowledge is definitely key, but I would say, like, stay grinding, man. Don't get comfortable. All right. So, how does photography reflect the person you're becoming and not just the person you've been?
How does it reflect the person I'm becoming? I think it goes along with what you were just saying. Like, photography is ever changing. The cameras keep changing. We're now mirrorless, not DSLR, and no longer film. So as photography changes and improves, we grow and develop and we learn and continue on. So I think I'm always growing and developing and learning and improving. And so as long as, we continue to get older and continue to live, we should continue to do that.
I don't know how to answer that question. How does my photography reflect the person I'm becoming? I mean,
I want to throw something at you.
Go ahead.
Because you were talking about, like, you got comfortable, you get stagnant. So you were shooting to reach a goal. Once you reach that goal, you was like, okay, I'm good here.
Yeah.
So I think you want to do better. You want to do other things. You want to become something else. So once you stop being comfortable and you realize you have that next stage you need to be in, you continue to move in that path.
Okay. I mean,
which is why you study, is why you read, is why you continue to self-develop.
I actually am moving more into the education lane. And so I think some of the photography that I'm shooting now is to teach. Mm-hmm. Like, I might shoot something that's like really basic. Like when it snowed, like, so you said you was like, oh, let's go out, you shooting the kids, stuff like that. I was taking pictures of like light poles, branches, fences, because like while a fence or a light pole or a blade of grass has never paid me, it's what my students want to see. Like, because it's like where they're going to get their start. Mm-hmm. Like, they're getting their start not from paid clients. Right. It's just from, well, what are leading lines? Like, what is, rule of thirds? Like, so it's like me trying to get back to basics where I've been an athlete my whole life, and it's hard for me to teach someone how to dribble a basketball because it's like just bounce the ball. Just bounce the ball. But it is a timing of it's going to hit the ground, bounce back up. It's going to be, your finger pad. Like, it's not the palm of your hand. Like, so it's like going back to like the fundamentals maybe. Mm-hmm. And I think that can kind of build that hunger up too when you're like, oh, you're starting to see it from the eyes of somebody that has never been paid, that has never, they're the weird person for even having a camera around. Because I can remember that too. It's like, what are you, why are you taking pictures of us? Why, like, what are you doing? So that was a tougher question for me because I didn't really look at, like, I'm still like kind of shooting for money at this point, but I'm not like looking at it from a standpoint of like, all right, I'm adapting and I'm evolving into a different person. Right. So where's the photography going with it?
And that's a part of what you were saying earlier about, finding the love and passion for it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. If people could take away one feeling or lesson from your photography, what would you want it to be?
One feeling or lesson.
I got an answer too. Want me to go first? I can go first.
I was gonna.
You got something?
I think I was gonna answer both, like a feeling and a lesson. Okay. So the feeling is I want them to get passion, like get love, passion, like I want you to love the image. First of all, I want you to love the experience. But the lesson is, each session is catered to the person. You move the light. You move the, pose. You move, how I shoot it is not the same textbook.
I like that. So I like that answer.
The lesson is, show up and adapt to your situation.
Yeah. I mean, because you saying it, it's like, yeah, of course. But, like, I don't know if people really know that. Like, dude, I'm not giving you the same pose that I gave the last person. Y'all have different...
You may get the same pose, but it's going to be
catered to you.
It's catered to you.
It's catered to you. So for me, I would say, when you shoot with me, you are enough. Like, you are enough. A lot of times people are like, am I okay? Like, what do I do with my hands? And it's like, yes, there is an art and style to posing, but a lot of times people like are just trying to be so extra to like be cool, and you just being yourself is the coolest, you gonna be. Like, you're good. Like, especially when you got somebody that cares about the finished product. Like,
I definitely care now.
Yeah, like, I'm about to say, I've seen his work. I know the work I've been doing. Like, I care about you looking good. So, you shoot with me, you're good. You're enough.
And that's one of the biggest compliments I got from a client this past week that we just had. She came, it was 2 years ago. She booked, and I didn't remember, because I saw the name pull up, and she was like, she called me, she's like, yeah, I've been here before. And I was like, hey, are you okay? Just make sure she knew where to go. And she's like, this is why I come to you, because I know that you're going to make sure that I look good. You care about your work, and I'm going to be this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, wow. Like, people come back because they felt their comfort. And I'm thinking, like, I don't know what I'm going to do until you get there. Like, until you show up, and you're standing there like, okay, this is what we're going to do, make sure this, but, yeah.
No, I definitely think a repeat customer is a compliment in its own, like by itself. Like, dang, you enjoyed the experience enough, you going,
Right. Of course, I see all the flaws, like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Like, oh, my God, I did that. But.
Yeah. But then when, like, people just, I don't know, it's like it's a nice trust there. So, all right, we got 2 more of these type questions.
Okay.
How do you hope your photos will impact future generations or your own family when they look back on your work?
I hope that the same feelings and emotions that they experienced during the pictures, if they're the person in the picture, or I hope that the clients or future generations get to experience the feelings that I had when I took the pictures.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of like, man, he put the family on his back, like, like with the work. Like, he went out and he got the knowledge, he got the tools, the equipment. I mean, cause I ain't going front. Like, for the longest time, like, I just felt like I didn't even really like people like that. Uh-huh. And then I realized, like, the issue was with me. Like, I'm trying to be a people pleaser and stuff like that. So it's like, I'm trying to meet the demands of, like, all these different people. So it would be like, I don't want to tell them no. I don't want to, like, not meet the standards. And so it's, like, stressing me out.
Right.
Where I'm like, oh, I can't stand people. But it's not that I don't, like people. It's just my anxiety over like what I'm thinking could go wrong and everything. So I want them to just kind of see the progression, like, and it's like, yo, you can start here. You're gonna be bad before you can be good, and you're gonna grow into being able to be paid to travel or being able to really, choose the life that you want based on, hey, I like this thing. I got the camera for something completely different and was just like, oh, I can get good at this. Like, I can make a living off this. So I want them to be able to see that you can be creative. You can entertain. You can do all these different things if you just keep, I don't know, sticking with it.
All right. Legacy.
Number 10. What makes your photography more than just images on a screen or paper? Like, why is it a story? Why is it a movement or a perspective shift?
I always go to, I like shooting people or events or things that have purpose. It's more, like you said, it's more just a picture. People who just want a picture, they're not willing to invest in their image. and I'm here to get paid. So people who have that purpose will invest in themselves and in their imagery, and it's on a billboard or it's on your advertisement. It's helping make you money. Like whoever I'm taking the pictures of, like some of those, business owners and professionals. So that's why it's more than just a picture on a page or a screen.
Okay. Well, and for me, I would tie it back to just some of the other answers that I gave, where it's I'm building I want to build something in you. Right. Like I want you to feel more confident. Like life just be beating people down. Like life be. I mean, even like kids. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think parents always realize how much they beat their kids down. Mm-hmm. Just with their personality off of dealing with their own stuff. Mm-hmm. So bills might be getting at you. Your job might be on your nerves. Whatever, or you might not be getting enough sleep. Just whatever you're dealing with, mm-hmm. and life is like really on you. And then your kid has a question, and just your demeanor towards the kid is like, well, I just wanted some cereal, right? And you spazzed on me, or like kids aren't really used to being. I'm trying to put it in a philosophical way, like where it's like kids are just told no when it's like not all that serious. Like when I'm doing these sports photos, the parent is like, "Why you smile like that? Why you
fix your face, fix your clothes, fix this? Why?" And the kid just being normal, like that's
and it's
who
like.
They are.
They're not going to, like, you're telling me your kid hasn't smiled in a picture for like 3 years, and I'm seeing why. Like, and so I'm trying to give that life back to the kid, and not just the kid, but that same kid grows to be an adult, right? That's been beat down or whatever. So I'm like trying to give that you are enough, that you are okay, like back to them. So I know it took me a minute to get there. But yeah, it's like I care. Mm-hmm. Like I want people to see that I care. Like when I'm doing this stuff out here. All right, so we've been rocking for about 40 minutes. I got a couple like quick hit Q&A type joints. Okay. Matter of fact, we'll put it out there. If you want to grab one, like a question, throw it at me. We can go back and forth. Okay. All right, so you want to go first or?
So any of these?
Yeah.
What do you think sets your work apart from other photographers?
I do think my care for the finished product. Like so I'll say I'm not the biggest on. Not to say I'm not the biggest on customer service. I'm not the best on customer service. Now, my company as a whole. Like, we get it done. Like, my wife is, like, all the customer service. Gotcha. She's the systems, the automation, the organization, like, the contracts, invoice, all that. Like, with me, I feel like I set myself apart with the creativity, the composition, the colors, like,
they are amazing.
Yeah, like, the look of the photo versus, like, just how many people I can shoot. Because some people are just like, I had this many clients, I made this amount of money, and I want to make the money. Right. Like, and I even laughed a little bit when you was like, I'm here to get paid. Because I even wanted to ask you a little bit more on that, where it's like, is there some kind of, like, it's not dirty to want to be paid. Right. Like, we have stuff that we need.
People have jobs to get paid.
So it's like, say it just outwardly, like it's rare for people to just outwardly say it, but it should be said. Like, you should like have aspiration to get the bread for improving your skill and stuff like that. So yeah, all that creative stuff, I feel like I set myself apart with the look of the photo.
And I think part for me, what sets me apart is me. Like
you.
My clients come, I be like, I jokingly tell people sometimes, like, you gotta get you a Dwayne. Like, you need you a me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to help you. Like you said, like, I help people. I listen to their stories. I want to create the imagery that goes along with them, but also the customer service aspect. I want to make sure they're happy with the product. Once they click on my website or click to each thing, like I'm hands on with every part of it, and I want to bring people in. Like the people say, you should get you a virtual assistant or this, that, or other. I'm like, but they have to give them my experience.
So, and that's been my tough part about letting go. Because some people are like, yo, you can't do everything in your business. And it's like, I don't know who's going to do me. Like, I'm going to do, like.
It's training. Like, they have to be trained. Like, this is how I want them treated.
Nah, so I definitely need to get better at that, where you were saying, like, they get me. Like, they're buying into me. They know, like, they're getting that comfort from dealing with this specific person that they might not get with somebody else. All right, that's good answer. Better answer than I had.
I'm trying to get better with the creativity though. I look and see, some of the things that everybody's doing, and that's a part of me growing and learning and developing. You know.
So this isn't on here. You still feel like you have a lot of growth in photography?
I have so much to do. I saw those books on the table and I was I'm like looking at them like, oh wow, this, that, and I'm just learning every day. That's why I go to the conferences I go to. Yeah. That's why I go to the workshops. Okay. And, I see what other people are doing. I adapt it to my style. I adapt it to my clientele. But I'm still, trying to get better.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Because I found one before you asked your question. Is there a dream client or project?
I saw that one. I was going to ask you that. I thought I asked the question. What's next?
Do you have a dream client or project that you would love to work on?
No idea. Which is why I was going to ask you that question, because I didn't have an answer. I might have an answer.
I mean, so for me, it's just shooting something of someone that I'm a fan of. So I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan, big LeBron James fan, big Lamar Jackson fan. So I wouldn't necessarily want to do a portrait session with them. I think I would more like to photograph them doing what they do.
Right.
Because I feel like I would be under like crazy pressure if I was like, I got a portrait session like in here like with them.
Oh,
like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, like, and I would be able to do it. Like, I would get there, but I know how I am prior to shoots with just somebody that live up the street. So if I had somebody that I'm like that big of a fan, I don't want to mess up. But I know if I'm at a concert,
right,
and they're doing them and I'm doing me, I would be cool. If I'm at a football game and Lamar's doing him or LeBron is doing like what he does, like I could I mean, I actually have some LeBron photos that I like. So that's definitely but it wasn't me. Like I snuck the cam in the game.
Right.
Like I need to be like on the floor, like getting them shots. So what I know you came up with something. What would you like to do? What's your dream?
I don't know. I think even what you were saying, like being at those events and places where your people are that you want to shoot, that's definitely, it sparked my interest again, like with concerts. Like I love like music.
Okay.
So like being at some concerts, I mean it doesn't have to be a specific artist necessarily. I went to like Maverick City tour, their concert. It was amazing, like being there, or like the I don't know, I can't think of the name of the, like Kirk Franklin's reunion tour. Like being able to shoot stuff like that would be cool, because of course I'm gonna be already immersed in the music, but being able to shoot those iconic images they may be used for stuff. And I've shot a couple artists, I've been to a couple of games. Like I used to shoot, Richmond had a football team that was in the stadium.
Okay.
At the Coliseum. The Richmond Rough Riders. Though, like I love action shooting.
Is that semi-pro or is that?
It was arena football.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
So like it was amazing, like catching those action shots. So I mean, being able to shoot a Commanders game, like sports teams, and like just the high intensity action. Oh, I love it.
All right. You who's next? You're next.
Yeah, you picked the last question.
All right.
What's a photography mistake that you made?
Oh, I was hoping you didn't ask that because I was like...
That taught you a lot.
A photography mistake that I made early on that taught me a lot. I think I'll say just patience and preparation. I like just getting somewhere early. Like I think that plays a lot. Because if you get so if your shoot starts at 4 and you get there at 4, you're not ready to shoot. Like so I know you do a lot of studio. I do a lot of outdoor photo. So if I get there at 3:55 and have 2 softboxes to set, I'm throwing the trigger on. I gotta set the lights up. Like there's all this different stuff that goes into that, and then I still gotta take like the photo like to warm up. Like I feel like there's a warm up process in every photography session. For both sides.
Which is why even shooting outside should cost more because of the preparation time you have to do to get ready for it. But that's another conversation.
Like there's like a patience that goes into like, all right, I'm working myself into a rhythm of my settings and I'm learning the person. Right. Because every person, like you said, like your shoot's gonna be catered to getting the best result like from like that person, and you can't just say, "Oh, well, this funny phrase worked with the last person. It's gonna make them smile."
And it doesn't work.
Like if you're shooting an engagement session or whatever the case, like everything doesn't work the same way. So I think it's just that patience, that preparation, and being on time.
Yeah.
What about you? You made any mistakes early on that kind of shaped?
I would say early on and like mistakes right now. First, I was gonna say customer service.
Okay.
Just how you deal with the clients or how you deal with their product, but the customer service piece on contracts. I had a client who reached out to me. Wasn't my ideal client because they were already negotiating about pricing and stuff, and I gave them a discount. As extreme discount. Went out there, we shot the pictures at a park. So I left my studio and gave them a discount. Showed them the pictures. They were excited about them. They said, "Oh, these look good, blah, blah, blah." I delivered the pictures, gave them a quick turnaround the next day. The following day after that, I got chargebacks.
What, they wanted a refund?
They disputed the charges. So how they disputed it was, first they emailed was like, "Oh, we don't like the pictures." They don't like, I'm like, "But you liked them at the place before we left, and I showed you on the camera." And I was like, "Well, we can do we can reshoot it if you like." He was like, "No." So even more into it. So supposedly they got married. A lady supposedly got married. So he says she's left. She's gone to Florida. Or I guess they were going to move. I don't know if they were moving there or she went back there. I'm like, but hold up. Y'all just got married. You said. It was so confusing.
Yeah.
But I think they were just trying to scam me. They really wanted the pictures.
They wanted the pictures.
But I said, you can reshoot. Well, she can't. She's gone. And we'll just get them done in Florida when we get there.
Dang. No. So the contract aspect.
The contracting aspect is a mistake. Make sure they sign it. Because he used this card to pay twice. You paid the deposit. Yeah. Then you paid again after you saw the pictures. So I'm like...
Oh, like they paid that remaining balance.
Right. Okay. And you said it was disputed. I was like... Even though it says, well, I don't know if it was on the site yet. But you have to have it visibly that no refunds. Okay. Because I don't give refunds. I don't give refunds.
A lot of business owners don't.
We don't.
Yeah,
like I can't get my time back.
Yeah. Because I thought it was a photographer thing. I'm like, man, a lot of photographers say they ain't giving refunds. But I think it's a
service.
Yeah, like...
Walmart can do it. Those corporations can do it because they already priced it way above what it should be anyway. So they're not losing because they're losing a little bit, but they're getting their return. Right. Yeah. But...
Yeah, and a lot of times now they're going to almost like a gift card system.
They give you that, like, okay,
Yeah, you still gonna spend it here, so bring it back.
Because they're gonna resell that item if they can, But yeah.
Dang, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of I think a lot of photographers, videographers, creatives, like, gotta have your paperwork right.
Gotta have it. And I thought I was good, but they weren't. The company took it. And I had to go through the process of explaining and sending documentation, showing proof, all that. And I got some of it back, but I didn't get all of it.
All right, so we're gonna do one more here, and then I just was gonna do like a couple non-related photography. All right, so what is your proudest moment as a photographer so far?
I think it kind of relates to a lot of the things we already talked about.
Yeah.
Like those, proudest moment. Well, so my daughter, when she turned her sweet, I guess it was 13, because she's not even that. She's not 16 yet. Yeah. But it was 13. I had my studio. I redecorated my studio. I had somebody come in and help me, and I flipped like the area around and just decked it out with pink and the balloons, and the table had a candle maker come in, and she was able to buy some friends. So as a photographer and business owner,
yes,
I was able to provide a space for my daughter to have this party, with her friends. Yeah. So just as a parent, I'm doing this, and then take pictures of her and her friends. Like, I didn't have to pay anybody else out for that kind of stuff. And memories that she can have.
So I can definitely relate to that. So before we were in this spot, we were considering a selfie museum. Okay. Where like every 10 feet, every 8 to 10 feet, it's a different theme, different room, different theme, or whatever. And we were like, we put the contract in. It was like months in advance. I was like, all right, I'm gonna have my daughter's birthday party there. We're gonna invite, because she has a summer birthday, so she doesn't get to celebrate the birthday with the classmates. So I was like, all right, we're gonna invite some of the girls from her class and all that different stuff. And it felt like they didn't want us there. Like, if it just was like, yo, y'all are playing with us. Like, so we never got the space, and the space it doesn't look good now. Like, it looks like really bad now. Like, it just wasn't taken care of, wasn't maintained. So it was like, dang, y'all kind of lost out, like, not wanting us there. But yeah, we had agreed on stuff. The contract didn't say it. It was like really a weird experience. But my proudest moment in photography it is photography related, because it's a photographer, but it's more along the line of like entrepreneurship and business ownership. I've had one photographer go and he's learned a bunch of stuff from me, and he's had experiences that I haven't even had. Wow. So being able to just teach and share something that I learned, almost like be a translator, like, dude, you can go from here to here if you learn these different things. And like, he shot NBA games, and he shot out of the country, and he's like just done all these different things where it's like, man, I gave somebody something that they can eat off of forever. And then more recently, I am teaching at the community college, and I had someone 16. It's like, man, like, I've just been so inspired. I'm looking at it like to be not just a side hustle, but like this will be like my lane of business. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, I want to push people into taking matters into their own hands. And so that's just off the top of my head, like, I'm feeling like that is like a very proud moment.
Absolutely.
All right, man. So go ahead. You can choose one of those, and we'll do 2 apiece.
Okay. What is one thing on your bucket list that you're determined to check off?
Whew. Jeez. I want to shoot in Africa. Yeah, I want to shoot in Africa. That's something that, like, when I started to get good with my camera, I was like, it kind of was like a continent thing. Like, oh, I want to shoot in Europe. I want to shoot in Asia. And I don't know if I'll get to all of the continents, which I still can. That's definitely like that was definitely a thought where I was like, because I looked up an Antarctica trip. Like I think it's like 32,000 a piece. It's like a cruise. But so it's like you cost 16,000 and the scientist that goes with you is 16,000. But yeah, so I was like, man, I might do like shoot on all of the continents. But yeah, I would love to get to Africa. And it wasn't even, I don't even know what for. Like I think it was just like, man, I'm supposed to be there. I'm supposed to shoot something over there. So you got an answer for that?
I don't have a bucket list.
Why? Because you did it all, or you just never had?
I think as I think of things, I come up with a plan to do it. Okay. Somehow.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Like, I don't have to have some long drawn out thing that I'll never get to. I hope I get to. Like, if I want to do it. All right, fine. I'm going to Africa, and I'm going to shoot over there.
Yeah, because like even the thought of going to Africa, like I hadn't thought about it, or even shooting there until I met, the group that was going. Okay. And it's like, oh, they doing that? Oh, I'm going. How do I get there? Let's do the plan. Like I don't know how, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this, and this, even for this year's trip. It's like this year, I'm like, okay, set a plan. Don't just pay the money. Like I'm going to pay the money when it's time. How I'm gonna do it, I don't know. Okay. But
dope. All right, so that's a tough question. So there's like questions on here that I don't want to answer. So I don't want to ask.
That's why I skipped some or read.
All right.
Ask the question. No, I'm playing. Don't ask it.
No, because. Like, I was about to say, if you had to pick one song as your personal anthem, what would it be? I read it and I skipped it. Because I'm like, I don't know. But, go ahead.
First thought, yeah. So you thought of a song when you read the question. You probably did. You just don't want to say that. So I was like, oh, that came right. I got to give a better answer. Okay. That's for me. For me, I was thinking the first song that popped to my head was "Living My Best Life." I ain't going back and forth. I was like, come on, you can do better.
But I mean, if that's your vibe, if that's
the first thing that came to my head.
Okay. No, so I actually would say it's like a toss up between two. Kendrick Lamar has a song called "Average Joe," where he's basically like, I live in this area, but I'm like not. Mm-hmm. Of this area, like I'm just average dude. Like I'm like the oldest of my siblings. I'm like my mother's son. Mm-hmm. I'm like relatable. Like I'm like nothing like super crazy special. Like I'm special, right? But I'm like nothing you can't be, right? And it's like I'm not trying to be someone else. There is another song called "Alger Heights" from a guy named Waldo. It's actually what I walked out to at the Peculiar Conference when I spoke. In 2023. And it's just like the opening line is like all I ever wanted was a cosign, but everything that I had the whole time. Like everything I felt I needed, I had the whole time. Right. And it's just like, oh, like I'm good. Right. Like as long as I stay being me, like I'm straight. And so yeah, that wasn't as hard. It wasn't as hard as I thought. If it's your turn? Yeah. All right, your last one and my last one. Oh, we need some other ones.
That's good. I see that question all the time. Let me see. Someone else say that one. Let's go easy. What's your most memorable meal you've ever had?
How was that easy?
And where was
it? You know how many meals we've had?
But what's the most memorable one? I don't have one yet. I'm thinking. But what's the most memorable one? And
all right, I got two. I got one, and they both kind of like somewhat negative experiences. So, a couple years ago, probably, it had to been like 10, 12 years ago. My wife and I, we went to Fogo de Chao in downtown Baltimore, and it was dope. Like, it was enjoyable, so enjoyable that we left uncomfortably full. Like nasty full. like hard to get to the car full, like but like just the experience of like you go in and they have like it's like a card and you flip it to red if you don't want any food brought. And then you flip it to green when like, and then they'll just keep bringing food. So like that's kind of what made the experience like.
Let's just keep going.
Yeah, so like that, it was like it was cool like that we got to do it, but like it was just like all right, like overdoing it is just like not cool. The other meal that I had that was like that's like probably gonna stand out forever is I come down the steps. I got this whole meal like set up for me. It's like steak, eggs. It's like a bunch of like my favorite stuff all sitting there, and I realized it's my 9th anniversary.
Oh, you forgot. Does she know that?
Oh, she knew. Oh. That's why she did it.
Oh.
And then.
Oh, because you hadn't prepared anything. Oh.
Dude, and like my daughter knew, and she like it was almost like my daughter wanted to warn me, like, hey, you know you got a date like coming up, and like a good amount of people knew, wow. and she was like, nah, he ain't prepared. Don't remind him. Like,
oh no.
Yeah, and so I'm like sitting there, I'm looking at the food. I don't even think I finished it because I'm like. It's like the guilt was like eating me up, like, yo. And I'm like, I kind of pride myself, like,
being thoughtful
on, like, at least coming through. Like, there's something, like, I always say, like, man, I hate Valentine's Day. I hate, like, doing, like, because I feel like throughout the year, I mean, we both work from home. Like, we see each other, like, every day. We would have a bunch of lunch dates, stuff like that. So I'm like, you know, we don't need one day to show our love, but the anniversary, yeah, like we like to, you know, go back, look at pictures from the wedding, things like that. So that was that's definitely a memorable meal where it's like, yeah, I dropped the ball a little bit. What about you? You had a memorable meal?
Not really.
No.
Which is why I was skipping that question before, but it's like, you know, just throw it in there. But because sometimes people think about like famous people they've eaten with, or you know, things like that. And I'm trying to think, and I'm like, if it was that memorable, then it would come to my head first. But I can't.
Nah, that's why I thought you said let's go easy. What's the memorable?
Well, I was thinking like easy, like you know, food. But so everything for right now it just keeps going back to Africa. You talking about the flipping over the card things? We ate at a place called Carnivore. Okay. Which is basically like the Fogo de Chao. Yeah. They bring the food out there. But they had they had like all the meats, whatever, but it was like open air too. So like it was the restaurant, you had the inside, but they had the outside part. And we were under like a awning type thing. Monkeys were jumping down on top of the roof. They were looking in and stuff. Eventually they would slide down the pole and come around to they didn't come on our table, but when people leave, they would go to their table and grab food, and then the waitress and the waiters would come out and try to shoo them off. Really? Yeah. So then one eventually came to like right behind us and was like looking, and you know it's like wow. So I got pictures of that. So that's memorable.
No, that's
and that's
being
that close to wildlife.
That's the thing about that question because it doesn't have to be like the best meal I've ever had.
The food was good. Yeah. I ate ostrich meatballs. I think I tasted that. They also had ox balls. I didn't eat that though. It's like somebody said, "What's that?" He's like the testicles or something. You know, said like the real. You know, they had it. I had a couple other exotic foods.
I mean, I was gonna ask you that. Like, you eating at a spot over there, like, and that's the name of it. Like, they gotta have something.
They had all kinds of meat.
Dang, okay. They had veggies with it?
Yeah, like Fogo de Chao in those places. Like, they had the different, you know, salad bar options. So half of the group did not want to eat off the all you can eat. They just ordered regular stuff. But I was on like adventure side. Like, let's go ahead and get
it. Like, man, we here.
We here. Get every experience. And every time we go, like of course, different countries that we've been to, Africa and Mexico, and even recent London. Like experiencing their food, how they eat, is always memorable.
Okay, cool. All right, man. We good?
We good.
All right, man. So, all right, photographer to photographer. We chopped it up, man. It was a dope experience. Was your first time?
My first time being on camera on a podcast like this. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm glad that you came out, got it done. So yeah, man. I'm supposed to do like call to actions, the like, the subscribe. Very upcoming. I'll have the beginner's photographer toolkit dropping. So be on the lookout for those links. And then while I said I hate the Valentine's Day aspect, I do have Valentine's shoots coming up. It's called Love, Laugh, and Legacy. You're going to come in here. If you single, show yourself some self-love. If you are in a relationship and it's just you and your significant other, let's do a couple shoot. And if you got the family, let's show love to the babies, to the father, to the mom. We gonna get in here at Harvard Haven Studio. It's February 1st. I think I got like 6 sessions left. So yeah, it'd be nice to see you guys. And matter of fact, where can they find you? Talk your talk real quick.
Look, Dwayne Morris Photography. If you're in the Richmond area or anywhere worldwide, I come to you and we can make the magic happen.
All right, what's your site?
Meet me at www.DwayneMorrisPhotography or at Dwayne Morris Photography on Instagram and Facebook.
All right, man. Peace out.
Oh, and we may have a podcast coming soon from DMP Studios, located in Richmond, Virginia also. So, hey, check us out.
Dope.